Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, you know, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
The Podcast Playground.
Hooray!
You are now entering the Who's House podcast. Shout out to Hardin, Las Vegas, the best dispensary in the world.
Yeah. I kidnapped Dr. Phil for this one. Natalie Freeman, what's up? And my socials are at DJ Who Kid on Instagram and Twitter. Let's not waste any time. Bring Dr. Phil in here. Let's go.
I'm just happy to be here.
Aw.
I feel like we're about to do that song with Lil Nas or something.
Oh, the Old Town Road song?
I read some lyrics this morning from it.
Read lyrics. Okay.
Yeah. But I haven't heard it. I just read lyrics from it.
What sort of music are you listening to right now?
You know, I'm an oldies guy.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Motown and but Led Zeppelin. I like a lot of that old stuff. And then my son's a musician, and he's got a song out right now that's really blowing up, so I like that.
Oh, that's awesome. We should play it later.
What's the name of the song? Let's drop an exclusive from your son.
Flexible by Jordan McGraw.
What?
What's that music video going to look like?
Yeah.
Lots of yoga and
It's already out.
That's awesome.
And I'm in it.
Flexible.
Out of here. You're in a music video?
Yeah, it's a guru.
You are a guru.
I levitate and all kinds of things.
Oh,
it's
that's
crazy.
cool.
Is that your first music video?
It is.
So all these years, you've never been in a music video?
No, this was directed by Joe Jonas, and he asked me to do it, so I said, okay.
Oh, my God. So Snoop Dogg, no one's ever kidnapped you for any kind of feature?
No cameo?
No. I've been in movies and stuff, but not a music video.
Okay.
So there's no secret album or anything coming out with Dr. Phil?
No, there's no album coming out from me. You don't want that. You could not unhear that, let me tell you.
Is it safe to say that Oprah Winfrey kind of hooked you up and brought us the awareness of mental illness?
Yeah, there would be no Dr. Phil without Oprah, because I had no intention or interest ever in doing television until she started having me on her show, and I did it every Tuesday for 5 years, and then launched my own show, which so I would have never done television if it hadn't been for her. And still talk to her all the time. We're really good friends, and she's been my biggest supporter ever.
Did you diagnose her, or how did y'all become homies?
Well, she got sued.
Oh, okay.
And
see, I didn't know that.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a litigation firm. It was a trial science firm. We did jury selection, witness training, mock trials, all kinds of things like that. And we represented her in the Mad Cow case up in Amarillo, Texas.
Wow.
She got sued up there for several $1 billion.
Wow.
And we represented her up there.
With Lil
Y'all
Nas.
are so young, you don't even remember.
I don't.
Yeah, it was in 96, 97.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
6.
Yeah. See, you
But
kids. You
I
don't
did
know.
grow up watching your show after school. Pretty sure a middle school. So 2012?
Yeah, we launched in 2002.
Okay, so I definitely watched you after school. Oprah was a huge inspiration of mine. You were too, and you're just so matter of fact with everything. I would always watch the teens that were really disrespectful to their families, and I'd be like, "Mom, at least I'm not like this. See, I'm
Hey,
amazing."
Mom, get in here. Get in here.
That's exactly what I would do.
Look at this little bitch. Get
Exactly.
in here. You think I'm bad? Look at this
And
little
then I
bitch
just
over
got
here.
whatever I wanted after
Yeah.
showing them that. But I wrote down some of your funny analogies that you used, and I wanted to bring up a few of them. I love them.
Oh, God.
She's on me like a duck on a June bug.
Okay, you notice how she goes into her patronizing drawl as she says that. She added extra syllables to at least 3 of the words. But that's pretty self-explanatory, right? Have you ever seen a duck? Have you ever seen a duck get a June bug?
Never.
Ducks are like lightning fast.
What?
I'd love to see a video of that. That's cool.
They see a June bug going, they go pop.
Okay.
They get it. So the saying is like a duck on a June bug.
So I'm gonna say that to guys when they're in my DMs now. You're on me like a duck in a June bug, and they're
on
just
a
gonna
June bug.
On a June bug.
Not in a June bug. That's a whole different.
That's a whole
story.
different kind of.
Yeah, you're gonna get a whole bunch of followers like that.
Yeah, Dr. Phil, that's like some farm shit right here.
Yeah,
man.
that's exactly right.
You had a lot of June bugs in your backyard, huh?
All right. We'll ask one more. If you got to make a pancake, it has two sides. Pretty self-explanatory too. There's two sides to every story.
No, the saying is, I don't care how flat you make a pancake, it's got two sides. These are just things, you grow up in Texas and all, this is just the way people talk, It's just, there's not anybody trying to write stuff or something. It's
why
just,
not? Write some analogies.
It's just, that's the way I was raised, just around, both of my grandparents on my mother's side, I think my grandfather went to the 3rd grade. My grandmother went to the 2nd grade. That was it.
Wow.
And all the people in our family, they were all just country folks working in the fields and stuff,
What?
Yeah.
You had a tractor when you were like a child? Like you used to like get in it and ride around like in the hood and shit like that?
I spent every summer in Mundy, Texas, Munday. It's like
Monday.
1,500 people and drove a flatbed truck when I was 12.
Shit.
You could get a license.
At 12?
Yeah, a farm to market license.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I should get one now so I could drive my Lambo because I don't got no license right now.
Yeah.
The cops are pulling black people over with no licenses out here. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's a perfect segue. So your podcast, would love to hear about. You have a podcast right now.
Yeah, I have 2 actually.
Okay, I'd like to hear about both of them.
Analysis of murder.
Analysis of Murder by Dr. Phil. That's Killer Thorn of Gypsy Rose, and it's I'm doing it different than some of the true crime podcasts that are out there, which I think there are some great true crime podcasts out there, really interesting, and some people doing some great jobs on them. My particular spin on it is, because I'm trained in forensic psychology. Oh, wow. When I finished my clinical training, I did a year's postdoctoral fellowship in forensic psychology. And so I'm taking people inside the minds of the killers. I think people are really interested in knowing why people do this stuff and what they're thinking at the time they do it. I mean, what are people thinking when they're hacking somebody to death? I mean, how do you get up one morning and you go do that? What do you say to yourself?
How do you get desensitized for that, though? Like,
how do you get from you're born and you're playing with other kids at school, and then someday it's okay that you're hacking somebody to death or setting somebody on fire or whatever, and then you leave and go eat at Denny's?
And they lack empathy.
That's what they do. I mean, they're just cold.
that shit is crazy. Huh?
Yeah.
Really, what happens to get somebody that far from normal?
I was a TA in college in behavioral science, and I was very fascinated with neurology, and I read a lot about a correlation with inflammation in the brain and mental illness. How do you feel about like nutrition and inflammation and how that can literally change the makeup of
I think it's a huge deal. I think inflammation in the brain, heavy metals in the brain, they're different
Absolutely.
things.
Our diets really do.
Yeah, a lot of people have lead, arsenic, mercury, different levels of chemicals in their brain that change the neurotransmitters in a big way.
Yeah.
And it's like opening up a computer and pouring water in it. It's going to start doing crazy things. That's what happens to your brain.
And I think with depression and suicide too. I mean, if we can understand more about what's going on with the neurology, we can prevent more of it. That's what I would hope for.
Yeah, a lot of people think that disorders that are commonly thought of as being psychological in nature really are more neurological in nature than they are like PTSD, for example.
Yeah.
People think that's just psychological. It's really not. It's more neurological. OCD. That's really more neurological than it is psychological.
Yeah.
Is this a dumb question? Does a color have to do with it? Like most of the time,
race?
Yeah, because most of the time the killers are like crazy white-looking guys. I don't know.
Well, that's true. If you look at the profile of like mass murderers, like school shooters and serial killers, they're always white males.
Yeah, they tend to be Caucasian.
Yeah.
So what is it, like the family, absence of family, or they're just insecure, or do we have to like watch my neighbor? Like I got a wild looking kid next door, man. I don't know. I live in a white neighborhood, I don't know.
You know,
man.
about the only thing we know for sure is they're white males.
What? Guaranteed.
That's about it.
Is it rare to have like a black person like wild out, kill like 100 people, eat people?
Just doesn't happen.
What? It doesn't happen at all, Dr. Phil? Yo, you hear this?
Like school shooters, out of all the school shooters, there have been 2 that were female. And one of them just carried a gun, and I think a ricochet hit one kid. And the other, I don't know that she actually killed anybody, just shot
That's awful.
something. So it's always guys.
Wow, but you're not like horrified going into prisons interviewing these killers, like?
Well, no, they're already in prison.
But you ever see those movies where they like stab you with like a pencil?
Are you going to see the Ted Bundy movie? Am I saying that right? Ted Bundy?
Yeah, Ted Bundy.
Have you seen? I mean,
I haven't seen it.
I mean, that's. I think that's to the nth degree of.
Yeah, I interviewed what I think is the only woman that escaped him.
What?
Oh wow!
Yeah. He picked her up near campus in his Beetle. He had a Volkswagen, and he picked her up, and sure enough, took her into the mountains and beat her and raped her. And he was going back to get a bat out of the car to bash her brains in.
Oh my gosh!
And she was unconscious, and she kind of came to, and just it was dark, and she ran like 30 feet and fell off a cliff into a river, and it swept her downriver.
So because of that, she escaped.
And he couldn't find her.
What?
And that's how she is alive today.
So what sort of PTSD is she dealing with?
Oh, man.
I mean, is she in therapy? And
yeah, it's been a long time, of course, but she is really, really bothered by it. So much.
Do you help her personally? I mean, I don't know if you're allowed to discuss that, but
no, I don't.
Okay.
I wouldn't if I.
Do you
did.
have personal clients?
No.
Am I allowed to?
No,
Okay.
hell no.
No. I was like, can you be my life coach? I have some questions. What's your rate? What's your rate?
How much do you charge, yo? Because I know you be getting Rolexes and Phantoms and all that shit. Like, how much do you charge, Dr. Phil? Put it out there for our audience.
Yeah, I am unavailable.
Well, I know Tony Robbins charges. He says it out loud. I'm not spread. He says he charges $1 million for 12 hours of his time.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure celebrities just call you up as a friend. Just I need your advice on this. And
I need a discount hookup, Dr. Phil, man.
And what I do when they call is I say, I'll talk to you, sit down and talk to you once and figure out what's going on and steer you in the right direction.
I'm sure you have a lot of therapist friends or doctor
yeah,
friends.
Yeah,
So
I've got a network and I put them in the right place, but I don't deal with them myself.
But being super famous, like, what's the wildest request? Like, some Arab guy would want to pay you $50 million to just
You get
Whip him.
save his child? Like, you ever get that?
Yes.
Like, ridiculous. Like, it's like,
Ridiculous.
Wow.
nah, like private jet. Please get on it. Get over here.
Yeah,
Help my kid.
And it ain't happening. It ain't happening.
No matter what.
I would love to see like how you turned up, like outside the the generics. Like, what the hell does Dr. Phil do to like as recreational? Do you club? Do you party? Do you golf and turn up with?
Yeah, I play tennis every day.
Do you?
Yeah.
I can't do that shit, man. I keep fucking missing that shit.
I got a court at my house.
What?
A clay court, and I play every day. I play 7 or 8 times a week.
Wow.
And I play golf, but I'm horrible.
You played with Michael Jordan before?
Well, it's the only game that you can't hustle and be better,
Okay.
right?
You got to be precise and patient.
Yeah, you can't hustle and be better. I mean, my idea of finesse is get a bigger hammer,
Oh, okay.
and that doesn't work in golf, so it's terrible for me. So I don't do that. But I do play tennis every day. I play golf, and I'm kind of a gearhead. I like cars.
Nice.
So old school or
well,
exotics?
I've got a 57 Chevy that is, I mean,
What the fuck?
it is pristine.
Like
Nice.
cleaner than clean.
I mean, you can eat off of it.
What?
And 750 horsepower and Flowmaster L48 headers. I mean, it is really good.
Yeah, we gotta chill with you, man. I need to get some.
It got stolen and I got it back.
No.
Yeah. I was putting it into a shop to get it worked on. 15 minutes after it went into the shop on a Sunday, Guy put it in the shop, locked it up, and was going to work on it Monday. 15 minutes later, it's stolen.
See ya.
So you think the tow truck driver was
You
in
think
on
inside job at somebody who worked there?
it? Yeah, and so it was missing for 10 months, and they
a long
arrested
time.
the kingpin of this big car theft ring in L.A., and he said, I want to make a deal. And they said, only thing we want is Dr. Phil's 57 Chevy. And he said, I don't have it. And they said, well, you're going in. Hour and a half later, his lawyer pulled up in front of the police station with that car on a trailer.
Wow.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
10 months. You were probably like, all right, it's gone.
Yeah, they kept trying to pay me for it. I said, I don't want the money. I want my damn car back.
Yeah.
And his lawyer pulled up in front of the police station with it on a trailer an hour and a half later. I don't know if he had it or he just put the word out. Whoever's got this, I need it back.
That's kind of gangster, though, that
You got it back.
Your car got robbed in 10 minutes, though. That's kind of
Street
crazy.
cred? Is that- yeah.
They followed you. That's some Ocean's 11 shit.
Yeah, they were on it quick. They were on it like a duck on a June bug.
There we go.
You got a question for him about residuals from that song, that record, the Bad Baby.
Just curiosity. The "Catch Me Outside" song. Do you get royalties on it?
Because they sampled
Because
you.
you're in the song and it has millions of views.
No,
Did you have to give consent for you to be in it?
I did not.
What? You know how much
Not-
money that is?
I did not give consent.
No.
Okay.
I want nothing to do with any of that.
Got it.
I mean, it's illegal.
Oh, yeah. I mean, get down.
So get some money out of that. Well, let me call my lawyer. Let me get that for you.
Okay, you're on it.
Let me get yo,
There are some YouTube lawyers that would, but yeah, just curious.
I
I mean,
get like a good 10 million off of that right there,
Yeah,
man. This guy.
there you go.
Yeah, come on, Phil. Come on. I got a question for you from your latest podcast, Mike Peterson. Do you believe his ass?
Well,
He's still denying it from his wife falling down. I saw that on Netflix too, and I see on the latest podcast you're like very skeptical on his response.
well, I don't think he pled guilty, and he did one of the charges where you make a guilty plea where you say, I believe you have enough evidence to convict me, so I'm going to take a plea, but I'm not saying I actually did it. But my experience is people don't do that if they're not guilty. And there are some real inconsistencies in the story. And I can't say he's guilty, but I can tell you I'm not convinced that he's innocent.
I mean, I watched it. There was blood everywhere from her supposedly falling down, like this very short flight of steps.
A lot of blood up on the wall, right?
Yeah, like come on. Can you read people from lying, like their eyes, and because I heard
Body
doctors,
language?
doctors could figure that out too.
There are a lot of signs, and the problem with this situation is it happened so many years ago, and he's done time for it, and then plus all the years that have happened since, that this is kind of a non-event to him at this point, so he doesn't react to it very much. He's
wow.
He's over it.
What?
Yeah, I mean,
So he kind of got away with it then.
he did 9 years in prison.
But that's like he got away with it.
Yeah, well,
9
he did
years.
9 years, and he went bankrupt and spent 6 or 7 years preparing for trial, going to trial, pending trial. I mean,
Wow.
he got hell for it. But I'm not saying it's been justice. If he did it, it's not justice. But he didn't skate. I'll put it that way.
Shout out to Hardin, Las Vegas, the best dispensary in the world.
Do children go back to their parents? They killed the other parent. Like, do they like hang with the parent, or do they return back like it's a normal situation, even though the courts kind of like found them innocent or whatever? I don't know how do you get back into life?
It's really tough, and in that situation, some of the kids did and some didn't.
That's kind of weird that you think
You
your
can't, like-
father killed your mom, but
like the smiley face. I think I remember seeing an interview. I think it was on Oprah, and her dad was a mass murderer, and it was her family was, I think, mad at her for visiting him in prison.
Right.
Yeah, it's tricky because that's your biological dad, but
Yeah, but to him, to that kid, he wasn't a killer. To that kid, he was who took her to the lake, took her to the park, did all of that. So she has a very different experience of that person than the people that were killed.
Did you do the story? I forgot his name, but there was a doctor who was, I think, doing brain surgery, and he was like messing with people's brains on purpose and killing them. Or I totally don't know the name, but there's a doctor and it's on somebody's podcast. My friends were talking about it.
Oh, for real? I just
and he
saw my
was killing
ex-wife
people
over
or
there.
messing with them on purpose.
No.
That would be interesting to.
Yeah, let me tell you, that's the problem. Because it's the old joke. What do you call the person that graduates last in their class at medical school? Doctor.
Yeah.
So you don't know. You just go to a doctor. You don't know if he or she is cutting edge expert,
Right.
or they just barely graduated. You don't know what you're getting.
Yeah.
It's really hard to know.
Absolutely.
You open the phone book and there's a bunch of names. You don't know what you're getting. It's really hard. You got to do a lot of research before you let somebody particularly start cutting on your brain.
Yeah, true.
You don't get a do-over.
I'm going to send my ex-wife over there, Dr. Phil, man. Take care of this payment.
Right.
I got a question, though. Is the number one killer of humans the vagina? Like, answer this, Dr. Phil. Is the vagina killing everybody out there for, like, jealousy? Like,
He's never coming back.
It is. I mean, I'm asking, like, technically, like, like, come on.
Heartbreak?
Exactly. Heartbreak.
How was he supposed to answer that?
He's a doctor. Come on, let's talk about the vagina here.
No.
I just lost my headphones. Dr. Phil, man, my house is your house. You ever met Eminem? You ever linked up with? What's the last rapper you linked up with that's a classic guy that ran up on you and was like, holy shit, like
2 Chainz.
Serious? That's so random. What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Because he's into that rich shit.
No, I was just. I don't remember where it was. I think it was in Vegas or something. And he came up and introduced himself, and we talked for a few minutes, and he was a really nice guy.
He's a very tall guy.
Yeah.
And he wears, like, so much clothes. Like,
yeah. But I hadn't met him before, but he came up, and we visited, and he seemed like a nice guy. But, I don't know him. That's the last guy that I've talked to like that.
what was your circle when in the beginning of, like, the Oprah era? Like, who were you hanging with, like, celebrity wise? Like, y'all all link and go party or hang with each other, that is.
Oh, I'm very much a homebody. I was then and I am now. I'm not a party guy, so I'm
serious.
Yeah, you don't see me on a lot of red carpets. You don't see me in parties and stuff like that because I'm just kind of a country boy. I do what I do, and I go home, play sports, and hang with my cars.
There's no Willie Nelson. There's no Ted Koppel. There's no.
No, I know a lot of people, but I don't go hang out and party and stuff like that.
That's crazy. Yo. We gotta hang with us, yo. Man. You got all them old school joints.
Yeah.
Yo, can we hang with this guy? Let's get some fucking chicks with this dude, man. Can we put up the clips of him being like the guru or whatever on Instagram?
Yeah, you can do that. I'm a good guru. I levitate and everything.
You were floating.
Awesome.
You were floating into the atmosphere. and
I'm
everything?
floating, smoke and everything.
Do you send out your own tweets? Do you look on Instagram?
Yeah.
What do you think of Instagram and everything?
I'm not obsessed with it.
Yeah.
But I post things up there, and my wife Robin posts things
Right.
up there, and
It's creating a whole new paradigm for therapists.
yeah. And I've got friends that are really active on Instagram. Amanda Cerny and some of these people.
I've worked with her. She's awesome.
She's a really good friend, and I like her a lot. She's very talented.
Yeah, she is.
But before you go, did you hear that they're gonna take off the like option on because they're saying kids are like getting like psychologically fucked up, suicidal.
It is bothering kids. I mean,
suicidal though, Dr.
Yes,
Phil from Instagram.
Yeah, and that's just nuts. I mean,
wow,
that's so wrong. I mean, kids will get depressed. They'll put up something and it'll get like 50 likes, and the next one will get 3, and they go, "Oh my God!"
What?
That like
They feel
button,
terrible.
it emit dopamine and serotonin are released, and you get a mini high sometimes when your video gets a lot of views. If you're susceptible, right? Not everybody.
Yeah.
If you're kind of
not
like,
everybody
you could be
does it.
using it as a drug, and you need that, dopamine release.
See, they need to be like me, where you don't know how all that works, and then you just don't care.
Yeah.
You don't know. I mean, I'm afraid to push something. I think it's going to empty my whole camera roll onto onto Instagram, and there's some stuff on there I don't want anybody to see.
Well, she must get an orgasm because she gets 1 million views.
No,
so
I don't get like high off of it. I mean, I know people that I actually get a little overwhelmed by it. I'll post and then I'll kind of like go away from my phone for like an hour, and then I'll check the views and then call it a day.
Whatever.
But I've got some friends that put stuff up, and it'll get like 25 minutes, like Lily Singh and Amanda Cerny.
Yeah,
these
they get a
girls,
lot of views.
They're good friends, and they go put stuff up, and it just goes nuts.
Yeah.
Dr. Phil, man, it's always a pleasure, man. The Illuminati's trying to get you out of here. And,
DJ Cool Kid,
Mikasa Sukasa, you know what I'm saying?
Dr. Phil, and Natalie Friedman.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you going to have me back sometime?
You come through anytime. We got to come hang with you. Fuck all that coming here. Shit.
All right. Well, listen, I'm in L.A. I'm easy to find.
Oh, well, let's do it, man. Dr. Phil, hopefully you don't rob your shit.
No, I
Take your
agree.
car in 10 minutes.
Well, I'm here. They know it's Saturday, and they know I'm not there. So
Definitely Saturday.
yeah, so they know I'm not home.
Dr. Phil, man, we out, man.
Shout out to Hardin, Las Vegas, the best dispensary in the world.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.